Hi, this is Roland from Defense of the Patients, a Dota 2 podcast. We'd like to thank you guys for listening. We hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, please remember to tell a friend. You can swing by iTunes, you can give us a funny or positive review, and we'll read it on the show. Find us at defenseofthepatients.com. Thank you for listening every Monday and Thursday to DotP.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Defense of the Patients, a Dota 2 podcast. I'm your host Cyphus, sitting here with co-host Wazoo.
Hello.
And Roland.
Hey guys.
And today we've got a special guest calling in, Jordan Hansen, better known online on the Steam community as Rasputin. He's from the Amateur Dota 2 League, and he's going to be calling in to tell us a little bit about the league. And I think we'll hopefully get into some discussion about competitive play versus on the amateur level versus the pro level.
Sure.
Where I think most of us are.
It's going to be
definitely
exciting.
Where we are.
I mean, he's running this league. I'm looking at his website right now, and I mean, it's good. It's funny. It's a good website, and it's really cool that, you know, the community is coming together for the bigger majority of the Dota 2 players, which are the bad players, or the worst
At least the
players.
amateur players.
Amateur players.
Yeah.
We use that nice word, amateur.
Hey, I like it.
Also, we've kind of wanted to bring up a discussion about the differences between the pro and amateur meta, and so this will lay a perfect groundwork for that discussion later on in the show.
I think so as well. That's a great point, Wazoo. Because we talk about it all the time that, I mean, in our first episode, I think we talked about, like, playing Captain's Mode and seeing that Lycan ban right off the bat. And then you look at, I mean, the International 4 was just recent. And it's like you see Lycan getting banned first every time. And so that's getting carried into 2,000 below MMR meta.
With
whereas
no reason.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
They just saw a pro do it, and they thought,
Right.
that's the best thing I can do because I saw a pro do it.
Sure.
You saw Gorgon make that distinction, too, when we interviewed him. He was talking about how different heroes mean different things in different compositions depending on the MMR. You know, you see that change.
I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
You know, that was my
Sure.
my big point was, you know, the guys you're meeting online in a public ranked match, you don't have 30 games against those guys. You haven't
Exactly.
seen what heroes they're really good with. You don't know which heroes you don't want to see somebody on that team play.
Yeah, I don't want John Doe on that mid, or else I'm in trouble.
As
Like,
a sniper.
Yeah, you don't
You have
know.
no idea.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
know. And so we talked a little bit about that.
John Dorsky, by the way, not John Doe.
What?
Mid me.
Me mid. Later, I would like to do a section in the show of the me mid,
Yeah.
the worst me mid.
Yeah, the worst meme.
I have some bad
the poems
me-mids.
of the mid lane.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Me mid, mid me now.
we may do well. We probably won't do worst way to die tonight.
Unless we get those submissions in.
Well,
we'll
we
see.
have open submissions. We are trying to get more specific submissions because we want to be giving away, you know, a little token every single time. We've been engraving different weapons of the heroes that kill you, and we can't really do that if you say you die to creeps or you die to a tower, or we don't know what the situation is.
Yeah, who you were running from.
So be
who you were.
specific. You know, let us picture in the mind, write us a little story, and we will read it on the air word for word.
And commiserate.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
we will. Oh yeah.
So let's do State of the Fairs real quick.
Okay.
I'm sitting at now because at just above 1,300 again. Because that game we played was only worth
Big
7
spender.
points. 7 points.
7
was all
points, but that was
45
one of the
minute game was
cooler
worth.
games I've ever played.
It wasn't for the money, man. That game.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it
was
wasn't for the money. It was
Sure.
for the
because it was
the
only
people.
7
It was
money.
for the people.
That was for sanity.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was for
If
the
I had
good
lost,
of Dota 2.
like, I think I would have just like taken off my clothes and just walked off into the woods.
It was
never
one
to
of those
return.
games that was gonna make or break us.
Yeah, it could
was
have broken
gonna-
my sanity.
Yeah, it was gonna be a bad night had we lost
Yeah,
that game.
I think we all, in theory, countered all their heroes very well, and we were up at points, but we just kept letting them like get ahead of
just
us.
incremental advantages. Yeah, we'll maybe get into it later.
You carried pretty hard there at the end as Void.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
face
good at
this,
that.
Void. Yeah.
They gave me the space for it, and I don't think they realized that after the mid game, I'd farmed enough to be able to just pick off the hero kills for the farm for the rest of the game. They're weak heroes because they had a what was it? Their weak Venomancer. And
Event.
so
he's
like
really
he was
weak.
like someone as soon as he stepped out, I'd just run in there,
I also
hit him a few times, and he died.
wanted to bring up how cool Tidehunter and Faceless Void was together. to do the Chronosphere and
So
then the
wicked
Ravage,
amount of disable.
or the
Wicked.
Ravage and then the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. And then me on Doom just like, okay, you cannot be in the fight anymore, dooming him.
For
and
anyone
then,
who might not know, Ravage is Tidehunter, the big fishy dude. It's his ult, and all the tentacles, a bunch of tentacles spew up from the ground and knock all the units in this big radius up in the air, disabling them.
That's a lot about timing, though, that game, because that.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's a
Well,
huge
we had to be
portion.
stacking those ults right, and
Yeah.
but you notice like we only stacked it right 2 or 3 times, so it is enough to win us the game in the end.
Sure, those team fights.
Because we
And
just wiped them.
to come back from a 12 kill deficit and win it at
Dude.
45
But
minutes.
sorry,
for a
I
tie
think we
game.
just like totally hijacked your state of affairs.
there was like
Oh,
a slow
yeah, sorry.
clap.
Yeah,
Okay.
state of affairs. I'm
Yeah,
just
state of
barely above
affairs.
1300 and still no final solo.
What are you
margin.
playing? You're playing some new
Are
heroes.
you doing that just so you can not?
I
ever-
Yeah,
I'm
you're
a little.
skipping
I'm
over yourself.
scared.
Are you a little scared?
I'm scared,
That you'll
yeah.
get like, you'll be like 13
No, I'm just scared
MMR.
about how high it's going to place me above you guys.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
I see.
okay.
Without you holding me back.
So you've been playing Crystal Maiden. Do you want to talk about that a little
No,
bit?
because it's so painful.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Crystal
Okay.
like
With
is
her.
a really really easy hero to feed with in ways because she's slow. She only has that one. Well, she can slow other people in multiple ways, but she's so squishy that she's
Yeah,
just
she does
easy
the
fodder.
slow for the Q. It's an area of effect slow. A freeze for the W. Her
It's
E is that
effectively,
passive aura regen.
What's that one item that you see on Doom a lot? The
Oh, Radiance.
no, it is like
Oh,
the Arctic-
Shiva's Guard?
Shiva's Guard.
Okay.
Effectively, what Maiden's Q
Yes.
is a Shiva's Guard, but it's portable too.
And if a lot of you haven't noticed, a lot of the items, like Blink Dagger and Shiva's Guard, those two for example, are hero abilities. It's really cool that how Ice Frog has done that,
Yeah.
has given it to... Anyway, that's a discussion for another time.
Definitely.
I am at, like,
Roland.
1,500 now. I'm going up. I'm winning a lot. I've been playing a ton of Broodmother. Pub Stomper.
Is that
Pub Stomper
Party
Mother.
anymore?
That is Party. And my solo's going up as well, because I've been playing pretty much exclusively Broodmother. Unless I see like a Razor or an Axe or about 55 other heroes, I'm gonna play Broodmother.
That all hard counter me. Let's not talk about the okay counters.
Yeah, exactly. Because
the other 50
anything that does
heroes.
area of effect damage. Anyway, Broodmother's awesome to play if you have the right composition. I've
Cool.
been loving Dota life, especially now that I'm back and able to play my Dota. I've got a lot of Dota in. What about you, Wazoo?
I have not played any solo games, so I'm still sitting around the 2100 solo, and we lost a lot.
Yeah,
we talked
we
about
did.
that on Monday's show. So
Over
won-
the weekend, you guys lost while I was gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much, man.
How many games would you say?
Oh, man.
I would say we lost 60% of the games we played. I'll give you a
How
percentage.
many games? How many games?
I
did
can
you
only
play?
measure
I
it
don't
in
know.
pain. Like
I
all I
don't
can
know.
tell you is like, it was like I was put into an Iron Maiden and like,
Oof. Yeah, it's the worst.
It was bad.
but it was pain
At
that
least
was
you
doled
got
out
to
over
play
time.
Dota. Some
But-
people don't get to play Dota.
I would have rather not. You know how long I
other
spent
states.
below 1300 this weekend? Like it was like it was getting bad. Like need to call a helpline bad.
Jeez.
Hey,
so where are
we
you
should
sitting?
we should double for that, and
Yeah.
not only do the podcast, but also a Dota 2 helpline.
A
Yeah.
Dota 2 helpline. That's hilarious.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
Well, maybe that'll be a
That's
listener
our intellectual
call-in
property.
segment.
God damn it.
Yep.
Wazoo.
Heard it here first. So I'm just right around the 2300,
Okay.
but plus 7.
How are you not going down? But Cyphus is.
He played without me a lot over the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't get over here.
I want to get
until-
100 games in over this break, and I'm going to.
Okay, before school starts.
Yeah, I'm going to. When I told you that, you were like, "My God, sir!"
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do it. I'll do it
If it
with you.
kills me.
I'll do
And
it
I
with
didn't
you.
play
do
it
it.
all on Sunday with him.
Oh, really?
And I was
tied
still
up.
grinding games. I
Tied up.
played 6 or 7 games a day, every day of the weekend.
Yeah,
So.
and it can be hard. Like sometimes, like last night, I was winning, and it was hard for me to click that find match again, because it's just so mentally draining. This game, like
That's a
you're tired
good point.
after a game.
That's a game upon itself. Dota improves you in so many ways, and I've talked about this before a little bit, but like I enjoy Dota because it does it builds in different ways. It's not just the gameplay, but like having the endurance to click it again after you've just had a bad game, and being able to go into a new game with a good attitude and like let the old game like just go off your back is like it says a lot about your character, and that's why I love Dota.
It's really hard. Even after a hard win, like we had a win where our ancient was at a quarter of a health. quarter health. We ended up
They
defending.
had more racks than we did.
They had more towers, more racks. They were winning the entire game.
In fact, we only took mid towers and mid racks and won the game. We
and
only made a mid push.
It was one of the coolest wins I've ever had for 7 points. Our MMR went up.
That
7
wasn't quite fair.
points.
Those guys were all better than the MMR that it gave them because their
Yeah.
two buddies were, I think they were a 5
They
stack.
were, and there were two
they were
be
around
determined.
1,200, but
No, they were a 3 stack of TBDs and a 2 stack.
oh yeah,
Oh,
just like our team.
okay.
They
That
were
makes
like
sense.
12.
Oh, okay.
One was
Yeah,
1,200.
it's
the
so
other was
weird.
Like
The entire
1,800.
stack was TBDs, so they were just playing through the game. They were obviously like around
be
our skill
determined.
level, though. I think they were around our skill level.
Oh yeah, they were good. None of them really didn't play well.
Yeah.
It's just we got that Ravage Chronosphere.
They were light on support.
Yep.
Well, you
And
did
that
did
hurt
good
them.
in your 5 position, your double 5 position.
Depends on who you ask.
It depends on who you ask. There was a little scuffle between Wazoo and Cyphus. I will say during the game over TeamSpeak.
I just get so mad, you know. I'm talking about character, and I was like, after that game finished, I walked up and I was like, sometimes in a game of Dota, like I wish I didn't even know you guys or something. It's like all of our friendships are just erased over one bad move. No, the game, like the patience problems are real in Dota. Like they're real for me at least, and I'll just talk about personal experience. Like it's hard to keep it cool sometimes
It
when
is.
things like you can't control things outside of your little hero.
Yeah.
And I guess this is a good metaphor for life, but like when you see people doing things that you think you can do better, you almost get wrapped up in the mindset of like micromanaging other people.
Sure.
And so that's why like that controlling mindset is shit. And my attitude in that game was shit.
It improved as we started improving.
Yeah, because
When
guys-
you realized
guys-
we had a shot.
Well, you guys know how to keep me in check too, man. And that's like, you guys know, like,
Yeah.
you guys really do know how to
Really,
like,
it's
keep
just
me in
like
check and
let
talk
you
to me
talk.
logically.
It's just like let you go off on your tyrant, and
My
Quiet.
tyrant?
No, it requires a weird combination. It requires you laying off and me laying it on. Because I had to just kind of call
sure,
you. on
you
it.
had to defend
Yeah.
yourself. You had to, but that's what we're here to do: is to defend our patience,
Right.
however we know how. And maybe defending our patience is Cyphus and Wazoo arguing as I sit there silently, or all of us talking constructively on a podcast. Who
Yeah,
knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Did you like how I brought that around
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice.
Very nice.
It felt good.
Jordan Hansen should be calling in any minute here from Dota 2, Amateur Dota 2 League. You and I managed to get a couple of those, or watch a few of those games,
Yeah.
which was really fun.
Glad I did.
Yeah,
because
I was too. It's a
gives
good thing to do while we were
framework
eating.
for this. Yeah. People all over the country are doing this stuff for Dota.
I know.
All over, man.
Yeah.
It's such a cool and uniting thing
Oh, yeah.
to know that like it doesn't matter where you are, like submit your content, people will find a way to like absorb it, you know, use the good of it, tell you where to improve it and move on. And it's just like I love that like camaraderie of the Dota community.
Yeah, for sure.
It really is. It's great. Especially like, I know I've said this in every episode, but I've been so astounded. I've taken a couple communication classes, and Cyphus has taken 10 times as many as me. And to see how just communicating with people via the internet and all these social networking websites and the cogs that go into it and how it works is fascinating, and it's nice talking to people from all over the world. We found out we have listeners in Croatia.
Yeah. I was really surprised to see that.
People in Croatia are listening to us. That's fantastic. Hello, Croatia.
Yeah.
It's nice to talk to
Hey,
you.
yeah, tweet us or email us anytime.
Yeah.
We love playing Dota with people all over the world. We love talking to people from all over the world. We're all open-minded fellows.
It's
Fellows, book fellows
it's funny.
or something.
So somebody who found us, found the show through Twitter, or maybe from us, going out and talking to people, said, "I'd love to play with you," and so on. And he actually won one of the worst ways to die. And he's on today, and I'm playing today, and I realize he has a 4,200 MMR, and I'm like,
He's
oh.
not going to want to play with us.
And I'm
at
like,
all. Yeah.
are you sure you want to play with newbies like me? And he does a smiley face, and he's like, of course, it'll be fun. And it's like, what a great attitude. Like,
Yeah, that's not
4,200.
That
like,
feels like that doesn't happen in Dota.
yeah.
Like it's so
Oh,
weird.
man.
Like you know how you're talking about the trench. I was thinking about
Sure.
the trench in a different way in terms of the attitude trench, and I think that's the number one trench you probably need to climb out of before you climb out of like the bad tier. Technically, what we're in is you need to quit like in a way like victimizing yourself because of the players you're with, and realize you can only take a certain amount into your control. Like Gorgon
Sure.
said, you're only 20% of a team.
Yeah,
You are.
sure.
But being able to have the attitude to, you know how my attitude was getting sour, like be able to listen to your teammates and be like,
and it can change a
my
game.
attitude, my play might not be flawed, but my attitude might be flawed. My communication might be flawed in this game, and that is what might cost us the game in reality.
Yeah. Because then do I care if I get away? Am I going to try my hardest to get away, or
and if
am I
some
gonna,
guy's screaming at you, while you, or, not that I was
it's-
screaming, but if some guy's like making snarky comments at you, which is I'm more prone to do, as like you're running away, you're just gonna be like, screw you.
Yeah, like screw. And that's
You know?
exactly the way I think we felt at the time, was like, screw you, dude. We're doing our job, and then it kind of takes morale. And that's one thing is, there's a little in the loading screen when you're going into a game. It says be nice. It's gonna work better than being mean. It's a little guide that Dota 2 has,
Yeah.
and it is the most truthful thing in all of the loading screens.
Yeah. Wise
I think
words
there
to
was
live
one
by.
that said buy boots too. Did you miss that one?
I apparently haven't read that one. So
Another episode.
That's the second
Another
most
Boots
important
joke.
one after the be nice.
I stand by what I said.
Sure.
No, I
sure.
know it's just a joke by this point. But
Well, you guys want to do a little news while we're waiting on Jordan?
oh
Sure.
yeah, love to.
Okay. About a week ago, ESL announced that they would be hosting a Dota 2 tournament in New York City. Twitch and ReedPop unite for New York's largest esports event with ESL 1 Dota 2 tournament at Madison Square Garden. New York, August 11, 2014. ESL, the world's largest independent esports brand. Oh, wait. I think, is that him? No?
Just a little buzz.
Let's see. ESL, the world's largest independent esports brand, is proud to announce their next groundbreaking Dota 2 tournament will be held in the theater at Madison Square Garden October 9th to 10th.
Wow.
Serving as the crown jewel of interactive entertainment for ReedPop's inaugural New York Super Week. As the largest in-person esports event ever held on the East Coast, thousands of video game enthusiasts will watch the top esports teams in the world compete in the finals of a global Dota 2 tournament. In partnership with Twitch, the world's leading online video platform and community for gamers, the event will be live broadcast on ESL's Twitch channel. In addition, Join Dota will once again join the team as ESL's coverage partner, providing on-air talent for the show. I'll just skip over a little bit of the rest here, but I think what everybody's kind of looking for, this prestigious event will feature 8 of the top Dota 2 teams in a battle for $100,000.
Oh, okay. So 8 teams all have a chance for. Is first place 100,000, or is that the prize pool?
I think
It
that's
looks
the
like
cool.
100K is the top prize.
Which is nothing
only
to scoff at.
100,000?
I don't.
Wow.
Oh, no.
I'm
come
just,
on.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, like what this means in all reality is bigger, better esports on the East Coast.
Sure,
I
and-
mean, we've got this big event in Seattle, and having that be out there, like even though it's far from us geographically, like awesome is how I
Yeah.
feel about it. Awesome
It
growth.
really is.
Awesome.
It's really cool that, I mean, Cyphus and I were talking about this earlier, in that I think video games, I mean, they've been prevalent for 20 plus years now, 30 plus years, some might say, but I think we're about to hit kind of the renaissance of video gaming. I don't think it's happened yet, and I think it is going to happen soon. And I'm so excited to be here for it.
Oh, yeah, it's cool to see.
It's on ESPN, for God's sakes. I
Yeah.
mean, Dota 2 is on ESPN. You said that Toby Wan was casting the game that was on
Yeah,
ESPN?
I think so.
You should look that up.
Yeah,
I
we'll look
wonder
that up.
what people that were strolling through... it was on ESPN 2, wasn't it?
Yes,
you know
it
what?
was. I read about. There was someone on Reddit who compiled all the tweets. I don't know if I said this on the show or not already, but it was pretty much all the people that were just like flabbergasted that there was video games on their ESPN.
Yeah.
It was like they were like, "What is this video game crap?" But
Yeah.
then there were so many people that were so positive too.
Sure.
Like,
Well, it'd be
and that
weird.
Loved it. You know?
Imagine if-
define sport. I
Imagine
guess.
if you were... I mean, I'm not even going to say age, because age has no bounds in video games anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
But imagine if you were somebody that didn't know anything about video games, never owned a computer, never owned any console of any type, and you had a TV and you turn on ESPN2 and there's this strange animated thing with some guy that's yelling, hyped up about something that
You know
just
what
happened.
I'm glad about? That's kind of like, on that note, like,
What's that?
is that Dota 2 presents so well as a game, and it looks so clean that it's a good product to be going out there on ESPN2, and I think it'll probably have a lot of success there. I think League, like, this is just my opinion, but I think it looks trashy. I think the graphics are smudgy. I think it doesn't look good. I don't think the terrain looks good, and
I've never seen it. Honestly,
it's
I
not
have
my
no
thing,
opinion.
you know. But Dota is really clean at many graphical settings, and also the action translates well. Like it's cool to watch even if you don't know it. And I've been watching Dota for, you know, longer than I've been playing it seriously.
Sure.
Dota 2 at least, because I tuned in like TI2.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's also a cool little fact about that. The difference between League and Dota 2. Apparently, when you move side to side with different heroes in Dota 2, it takes time.
yeah, it's called
not,
turn rate.
It's a turn rate. It's
There's
not
no
an
turn
instant
rate
thing.
in LoL,
There is no turn rate in League of Legends,
which is it's a huge thing.
doesn't probably impact us. And bringing it back to the pro meta to amateur meta, does it? I mean, I think it affects the pros a lot more than it would affect us. They're moving faster. Their actions per minute are faster.
That's
would need
one
to
of
turn
those
faster,
things
right?
that it's very difficult to quantify, because
Exactly.
every hero has its turn rate based upon its size. It really gives the hero its feel in a lot of ways. And if you ever notice that, just click around, and it feels like that weight that's behind is calculated so well
Sure.
that it actually feels like the weight behind their swings and how they're turning feels like what you would think a big skeleton man would, or I guess
Or
there's a
Tide
lich,
Hunter.
or
A Tide
or like
Hunter's
what
a
a big
good one.
fish man would move like.
Yeah, he's really sluggish, and
It's very well done.
I think when people are like, "That was a really great video game. That video game's really great." I think what that can kind of boil down to is the video game has good physics. A video game with a good physics engine is a video game that looks good. Because what we perceive to be normal and real is something that is physically accurate, right? Which would mean it would take time to turn. Is the point I'm trying to make there?
Everything, not just with the heroes, but like how towers crumble and all that in terms of the physics, how
Exactly.
things die. I think like the time I knew I was hooked on Dota and it was the shit,
Yeah.
in quotes, is when I was playing Juggernaut and someone killed me almost. Like I was running away with a little bit of health, and I watched him grab his side in his wounded emotion and kind of like run back to Fountain, like he was actually wounded.
Yeah.
And I was just like, every hero has these wounded, and like it's so convincing, and like they look hurt,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Yeah, that is cool.
That's
I'll pay
dope.
attention. I haven't really paid attention
Yeah,
to that,
it's
I
at
guess.
Yeah,
first you
like-
don't pay attention. Look at Ursa.
not
Ursa
just
looks
that,
almost
but this
ridiculous.
goes into my overarching point. Like heroes have lines together that are really witty and funny. Different heroes will have lines together, and it's just so well done. The nuances are so well done, but it's not in
Yeah.
your face.
Oh, the
you
little
know?
voice
Yeah.
act. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the voice acting.
The Sven Crystal was kind of funny.
Oh, that's a
The-
good one. We could guess what hero says what. I've been to hell and back
Yeah.
and back again. Lion. I mean, I had that stuck in my
That's
head
what
when
we'll
I was
play
playing
with
Lion.
you when you call the Dota helpline. We'll be like, "Who says this? Just calm down.
Calm
It's
down.
okay."
So to your point earlier about ESPN, so a little clarification there.
Okay.
So not only was the tournament broadcast through ESPN's online service, ESPN3, so it was online that
Okay.
they were initially broadcasting it, but there was also a one-off special documentary about it broadcast on its cable channel ESPN2.
Wow.
So they did a documentary about the international on ESPN2 and then did the actual broadcast on ESPN3.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's
Oh, I see.
probably, with 20 million people tuning in, it makes you wonder if maybe they won't
20
try to-
million people?
Yeah, that was the number.
Oh, it
Oh,
looks
there's-
like we have Jordan calling. All right.
Hey, Jordan. Welcome to the show. Jordan Hansen from Amateur Dota 2 League. Better known probably online to those of you on Steam as Rasputin. How's everything going? Are you running a tournament tonight?
Yeah, we did. We have some league games happening tonight, and some of the teams were a little bit late. So, sorry, I ended up coming up a little
Oh,
late.
no.
I apologize.
Hey,
No,
it's
that's
fine.
okay.
We were talking about how the international was on ESPN2, and it kind of brings us back into that was the pro tournament, and you run an amateur Dota 2 tournament website, as I understand it.
I do. That's correct. Yes.
So I guess kind of explain to us a little bit what the or what like a structure or I guess so you do it. Let's start with when do you host your tournament and what does the structure of the tournament look like?
So we kind of have it broken into a couple of different leagues or different areas, I should say. The first area is our Thursday leagues that happen on. That's for everyone, pretty much. And I play in there with my team. We're not very good. We lose a lot. We play every Thursday, and games are typically at 8:30 or 10 o'clock Eastern. And then we have a higher level league with a bigger prize pool and a lot better teams, teams that are playing, against some of the qualifier TI teams and just right there at the semi-pro level. And they play on the Tuesday and Wednesday nights. And so those are the games that are happening tonight that I try to pay attention to a little bit more. Yeah.
So can I go to your website, which I have it pulled up here? Sorry if the mouse is clacking. So that's AmateurDota2League.com that I go, and I can watch the casts there?
Yeah, we have it embedded on the home page for our channel, but we have a lot of other casters as well. In fact, it'd be cool if you guys wanted to cast a game. We have a bunch of, we have a lot of games happen, and so we got a lot of amateur casters.
And then that hero shoots that arrow and it hit him in the back.
No way! No way! He speaks only for himself. Wazoo would love to cast. I'd love to cast.
Yeah,
Noob Dota, man.
Exactly.
Let me do it.
Well, that's very exciting. So, how do you determine who is in a better league or in a lower league? Is it purely based on MMR?
No, we actually don't even look at. I mean, not for dividing the divisions. We don't look at MMR. So we kind of had it divided during the regular season. We're into playoffs now. But during the regular season, we had it divided into separate divisions. And we had our top level. We invited most of the teams, and we did offer a few paid slots for teams that thought that they were better and they would compete better. We gave them a chance to play at the higher level. And then we kind of broke down the same way, lower down. Like our next tier, we invited a bunch of teams, and then some teams paid in for that. And then our entry level was open for everyone. So anyone could come in. They declared their MMR to us. We request it when they sign up, but we didn't use it to place them in a certain division at all.
So if somebody wants to join the Amateur Dota 2 League, how do they do it?
So right now, you can go and create a team, but we don't have registration open because we're in the playoffs at this point. During the season, anyone could have signed up at any time, and we charge a late fee, but during regular open season time, in a few weeks we'll be opening up for Season 5, and anyone can join up, and I would recommend everyone do it. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time, and, like I said, my first season we played, we lost every single game, but it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. And you just meet a lot of
Losing
cool people.
can be fun.
Right, yeah. I play with my nephews and, just close friends, my nephews and then the other owner of AD2L plays with me as well. And I get a bunch of stand-ins a lot of time, and we really just have a good time. We just laugh, and we lose a lot, but we just have fun doing it.
Well, that's really cool. So organizing something like this, can you talk to us about that? How did you do it? How did you come to be in this position?
Well, I love competitive games of all, competitive sports as well. Like I played tennis a lot. I do a lot of tennis leagues on my free time. I played kickball leagues with my wife and my brother, and some of my family plays kickball leagues. And so I just wanted something like, low degree of competitiveness with Dota, like a weekly game that meant something that my team and I would prepare for. We could research our opponents if we wanted. And so I was like, I don't see any good league out there. I couldn't find a good one. SIVO was out there, but I didn't know them very well, and they looked very scary to me because it seemed like all the teams there were very good. So I just yeah.
I think it's very interesting that we can think of Dota as kind of something that you can play at that semi-competitive level and have a good time with, like, something you would like have like the fun you'd have with like a softball league or something like that. You don't need to be winning the TI4 to have a good time with Dota. And I think the pro mentality can sometimes pollute that mindset in a way.
That I could never go to a tournament. I'm only 2,000, 2,500 MMR.
Or I don't have time to play a game like Dota. It's like,
but
you can have fun with it at any level.
Well, there are people like Jordan Hansen that allow you to play in a tournament setting. I think that is the coolest thing.
How much does it cost to sign up with a team?
So in the past, our entry level has always been 100% free. Next season, the main issue we've had with that is that so many teams sign up and they don't show up, or whatever. Just because it's so easy to sign up and so it's been free. And so this last season was our biggest season yet. We had over 300 teams sign up. And I would bet, a bunch of them just didn't even show up for some of it because they don't have much commitment, And so next season we'll probably charge what we'll do. We'll probably charge $1 a team, and we'll invite back most of our teams, and then we won't charge them anything. it's purely to stop them, get a little commitment, to stop a team from just signing up and then forgetting about it. Because
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense.
We really want the teams to have a good time. And so we don't, that's been our main focus, is we want them to have a good time. We want them to show up. And, it's really frustrating when you prepare as a team, you show up to play, and then no one shows up, and you're like, well, that sucks.
So, Jordan, do you find that flakiness or people not being communicative is an issue in the tournament scene, at least the one you run?
Yeah, 100%. And I would say it's one of the bigger, for sure, this has been the biggest issue for us, is flakiness. It's just because we've grown so much, and there's so many teams that signed up, and I'm not sure. It just feels like it's a little bit worse almost in the EU scene, and maybe that's because there's so many different languages and so many different cultures there.
Yeah.
But teams
and people don't realize that, I don't think.
Right. And so, it makes... Go ahead.
Is it like 1 of 5 not showing up, or is it the whole team not showing up, and then you can't even do the tournament?
No, it's there's a little both, but mostly it's the whole team doesn't show up. And so that person just, so one team shows up and they're all ready to play. The other team, I think the captain signs up and then he never communicates to his team members, or they disband, they don't tell anyone, or they don't care. They're like, oh, I'm busy playing my pub. I don't really want to exit out to play with you guys. Sorry. And so
do you give a bye to the teams that don't or to that their opponents don't show up?
If a team shows up and doesn't, and the other team doesn't show up, I give a forfeit win. I give them a win for it because it's not their fault that the team didn't show up. If we,
I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I feel that hurts me as an admin. I really want the teams to go out there and be able to play and have a good time. That's really what I want the most. Just them to have a good time.
The organization,
right?
Like the organization of it has to be frustrating because you guys have grown a lot. I mean, you guys have been. I remember hearing about you guys a year ago, and since then you guys have been just building and building and building. So it's got to be hard getting this huge influx of people that want to participate but don't show up. I think the slight paywall is a good idea just in terms of a buy-in. Like you buy in for poker.
Yeah, sure.
Put your money there.
Right, and it hurts me a little bit because I feel I don't like being exclusive. I really want to include as many as I can, and I really want more people to come, but I just don't know what else to do to make them commit. So that's why $1, or if they don't have any money, because some of the European teams, they won't have credit cards, maybe a $5 worth of Steam items. If they give me $5 worth of Steam items, we'll put them into we have an item pool and we give it away as prizes sometimes. So
that's
cool.
Awesome.
And the spirit of the competition and the spirit of you still wanting to provide that cheap experience, not a cheap experience, but relatively inexpensive experience.
A low cost.
Yeah,
low cost. Exactly.
Rich experience.
Like the softball league. I love that. I love how you said that you played kickball and stuff, and how I think with this, we wanted to talk slightly about the pro and amateur metas and how we're not all. I sorry to break it to you guys on the air, but we're not going to win the international probably ever, any of us.
That's probably
true. You can go participate in this competition, and Dota is a very rich competitive game on multiple levels, not just the pro one. And organizations like yours, Jordan, are really showing us that, and that's so valuable, I think, to the community, just based upon giving a different view upon the competitive spirit of Dota.
Yeah.
I was going to ask a question. I think I don't know.
And yeah, it's pretty amazing what you're doing, Rasputin, or Jordan Hansen. I think it's awesome to bring people together, and I think that's what me, Cyphus, and Wazoo kind of sought out to do with making this cast, and we didn't realize until we got knee deep into it that there are tons and tons of organizations out there that just want people to have fun with this awesome game that is free to play. And it's people like you that help us do that. And I know from here at DotP, we want to thank you for your contribution to the community.
And we're looking forward to watch more games.
And perhaps casting a game. Just cast. I'll cast all pudges. How about it's 5v5 pudges? Just everyone's pudge, and that's the game. And he's hooking left, and he's hooking right back, another hook.
And a lot, like I said, a lot we've taken out, we've removed since, but we still probably have a good, I would say, over 200 teams probably there. I mean, some have been dropped out already in the playoffs, but yeah, they have made it to the playoffs, probably around 200 is what I'd guess.
So who do you have your money on for winning? You've got to have a team that you have your money on, right? For
No,
winning the playoffs?
So we tiered the playoffs. So we have our top playoffs with our best teams, and it's $550 for both the EU, and then we have one for the North American. And then we have the same thing for 110. We have $110 for EU and North American, and then we have $55 for North American because we had more and more North American teams. So we have a couple different ones that will win. At the higher level, I really have been admitting the higher level, the $550 ones a lot. And I feel at this point they're all my babies. That's kind of what they feel like. I love them. Like I love those teams. I watch them like week. And so it's hard for me, especially at this point. I was just talking to one of the captains, and their team is amazing, really good. But I think, I don't want them to lose, but I don't want the other team to lose because I like them both a lot.
Those are like your dream visualized in a way. Those teams, like those are like the fruition of that experience. It's really, very cool.
I'm kind of living through them vicariously, and I see. I mean, they're super good. They're really. I mean, one of the teams, Root Gaming, they play against No Earth Spirit. Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of them, but No Earth Spirit has played in the TI qualifiers, and they beat them before, and they're very good. And so I see them.
Root Gaming, yes, I know. Do you know Root Cats?
Yeah,
he's
Root
a
Cats.
StarCraft.
He's a StarCraft player.
Right, it's the same sponsor, right?
Oh my gosh! See,
Root's an old.
I was a huge fan of Root
gaming
Cats.
Organization.
I played StarCraft.
No Earth Spirit is another team that's kind of Did they make it into the international, or did they just?
They were in the qualifiers.
Oh no, they played.
They didn't make it into the.
And I remember.
Tournament.
Now I remember. I remember that. That's
still
where I heard
impressive
about them from. I watched a game or two.
They're up there.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, these teams are right up there at that level. So, anytime I see them in their league, I'm just like cheering for them. I'm just like, come on, go guys. Because I love, they're just great teams.
We thank you for calling in. This has been Jordan Hansen from Amateur Dota 2 League, better known as Rasputin to all of you on Steam. They can find you at ADOTA2L, ADOTA 2L on Twitter. Where else can they find you, Jordan?
I have my own personal Twitter account, which I use a little bit. Is Amora, AARMORA, and of course my website, AmateurDota2League.com. I'm there, with Shadow Killer, who's my owner, and we work a lot on that. So you can email us or whatever. Contact us any way you want.
Okay.
Sure.
And when does Season 5 start up officially?
Season 5 will probably, officially probably start in about 2 months because we play one game a week is normally how it's scheduled. And so the playoffs will probably take another 4 to 5 weeks, and then we'll probably take a couple weeks off to kind of organize everything for Season 5. And then we'll start. And you guys I'm serious. You guys seriously should make a team and come play. Everyone.
We will. We're going to.
We will.
We're going to.
Yeah. No matter your skill level.
It's something everyone can enjoy. And I think, Amateur Dota 2 League is becoming a household name among Dota players, and I think that's only going to grow. So thank you so much for coming on the show, Jordan.
We'll have you back on right before Season 5 starts up, and we'll plug that and talk about it, and kind of talk about how you feel our chances are going.
And then I'm going to ask you if you're living vicariously through our team that's going to be losing every single game.
Hey, who knows? DotP to the playoffs. I want that 550. So what does first place get, Jordan? Before we go, what does first place get?
So first
of
place
that 550
at a higher level, it's 70%. So they'll get about $370. Is what the first place team will get. And at the lower levels, it'll just be 100% of the prize pool. So at the $110 level, they'll win $110, and the 55 will win $50 to $5. And if we have enough teams, we'll have another playoffs for items. We just give items out, some nice items.
Well, we will definitely help you get those prize pools bigger and bigger, Jordan.
We'll be in contact, Jordan, for sure, and we can't wait to see all the growth you guys are going to be doing. And thanks for the exposure. Thanks for coming on the show.
And thank you for what you've done to the Dota 2 community. People really respect you. I respect you. I respect the work that you're doing, and it's just been absolutely great.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are really too kind, and I appreciate what you're doing with this podcast. And not only that, but it's really the community that's helped us a bunch. And I just wanted to say one other thing. I know you guys are a podcast for amateurs. There's one team that joined us from the very beginning. This guy, he was the first person to sign up on our website. He's been supporting us from the very beginning. He's an amazing player, over 6K MMR. And he started a website just to coach now. It's called Dota2Gym.com, and I really can't speak better of it. Like, anyone who's looking for coaching, he does a free trial period. It's worth looking into. Dota2Gym.com is what it is. And he's amazing. He's really good, very smart.
Would he tell me to buy boots with Nature's Profit?
Yes.
He would tell you
without money.
he would tell you to buy boots with Nature's Profit. Yes.
He would. He's not 6K then. He's not 6K. Come on. No, you don't get boots with Nature's Profit.
Come on.
All right, thanks, Jordan. We're gonna have you back on the show for sure.
Okay, that'd be great. I appreciate it, guys.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. That sounds interesting. We should put a team together.
They've got the brand and they've got the attitude to make that honestly 100% a household name. Well, and I see that. I mean, it's already getting to like the high levels, but like anything that makes esports more accessible and makes a game like Dota 2 more accessible is going to like be successful, because Dota's on its up. And that, like, I can't wait to see what happens to those guys in the next couple of years.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's cool to have that option for less experienced players.
Absolutely.
Just to be able to compete, to have that experience, because that's what I was talking about with you guys. Was it would just be fun to have a team and play and get your face smashed.
Yeah. Remember playing Little League as a kid, and you'd point to the fence and you'd hit it, and like for a second maybe you were Babe Ruth, just for a second. Yeah. Maybe for a second you're mid lane, and like before you take a few tower shots to the head and die, like you think you're Dendy. You know what I mean? And
If you win that, you feel like
there's
you won
something
the international.
about the spirit of the competition of Dota that's just so romantic and awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. Not really romantic in the sense of like, let me wine and dine you, but like romantic and like Dota 2 may very well like be the new American pastime, man. World pastime.
give it some years.
World pastime.
I think a lot of people would argue that's soccer now.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Soccer's on the
they've
rise.
got the numbers.
I think there's some awesome things happening with esports. It's really cool because like I talked about earlier, I started with StarCraft, and I love StarCraft. I still play the game. But Dota 2 has kind of surpassed StarCraft as far as viewership and players and unique, accounts per month. And I wonder if there is going to be a next game, or if Dota 2 is if it's gonna take it. You know?
Me and Cyphers have actually talked about this in private, not on the show. And one thing that Valve's very good at is supporting their games. You can see that with Half-Life 2, which is a game that's like, it came out when I was in 7th grade. So long ago, like 2002. So it's been like 12 years, and they still support that game.
It's got to be longer than that, even.
No, Half-Life 2. Half-Life 1 came out before that. But Half-Life 2, they still support all their titles.
Yes, they do.
And very well, they update it. They keep it looking nice. And I guarantee Dota, like, Eric Johnson has come out as saying verbatim, like, Dota 2 isn't something that's ever going to stop.
Sure. You mentioned that, I think, the previous episode, that there will be no Dota 3.
Yeah, we were talking.
I think you read it on the air.
He was talking about how it didn't really feel like there was a logical point where they just stopped and went, okay, now we're done with Dota 2, on to Dota 3.
No, it's not gonna. This thing's around to stay, and I would not be surprised if, like, as we like pull our 9-to-5s later on in life, like getting home on a Friday, like no matter where we're living, and sitting down to play a game of Dota 2, and I guess that's how I look at the game, is like something that's going to be around for a very long time, and in my life for a very long time.
Sure. And that's I think what will happen with all of us is we all grew up with video games. We did. We all grew up and we were excited about the latest video game, and I think that will follow us throughout our later years. I don't
think
ever
that'll
see
mark
myself
these next few generations in general.
Sure.
Yeah.
We exist digitally as a society.
One thing I really love about Amateur Dota 2 League is it familiarizes people more. It makes it okay not to be going all the way to the international. You're worthless at the game. It opens up an arena for competition that fosters any type of growth, not necessarily just the kind that brings you millions of dollars, because that's not all the game's about.
And it also gives the amateur community, which, as we've mentioned a couple of times, just this show far surpasses population-wise the pro community.
Yeah.
It gives them experience with a tournament that allows them to probably more fully enjoy the pro scene. When you play baseball, you enjoy baseball more. When you play football, that was always my experience with sports growing up.
And you enjoy watching it more too.
Yeah, exactly.
if I watched a baseball game, honestly, I did over the weekend. There was baseball and there was football on the television, and
And you're
I
like,
don't know what they
is the
mean.
pitcher like their anti-mage?
Yeah.
Is he like their carry?
Is he like their carry?
Who's going mid?
He's like their support or something. And it really, it didn't interest me too much, and that's because I don't really have a foundation in those sports.
Yeah.
But then I watch a game of StarCraft or I watch a game of Dota 2, and I'm excited to see.
Well, you guys played hockey too, right? So
We played hockey.
you enjoy watching hockey?
Sure.
I like to go to hockey games for like the novelty of going, and like that's fun. But I don't follow any teams or anything like that anymore.
No.
You know, like since I
Well,
stopped playing.
I don't either really. I mean, with any sport that I ever played.
Yeah.
When I was
I
playing, we were interested in it more. But that's like you said, when you play something, you want to see it being done very well when you do something.
I guess there's the answer to your question, really. When will Dota 2 go away? When the amateur base that's playing the game goes away.
Exactly.
They've got such a good thing going with Dota 2 and just the brand and how recognizable it is that it's never going to go away. And they've monetized it in such a way that it just creates revenue for itself.
It's
It's
such a beautiful
genius.
idea. They create 100+ heroes, and they say it's free to play, and it absolutely is free to play. But then
Is it
you
though?
have these
Is it
aesthetics.
really?
Then you have these
It's not just money you pay with. It's not just money you pay with.
a little bit of your soul goes every game.
Pride too, man.
Yeah, and pride. But it's
Patience,
awesome.
of
Like
course.
at first,
Defend that patience.
when I first started playing, I was like, why would you ever spend money on this free game? It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the way you play. Now that I played a lot, like I cherish my Doom set, and I cherish my
You want them to remember.
Chen set.
You want them to remember the.
You know what I was
the
worried
guy.
about initially with the whole cosmetic system? That it would change the heroes, change how they look too much, which they have not done, which I'm surprised that they kept like aesthetics right to like make every hero still recognizable but unique looking in their own sets. I also thought that like it was going to be like distracting if someone had like a super rare item, that it would be so flashy that you'd be like, what the hell is that like Doom sword that's like glittering and like lightning shooting out? But they've kept it very like
It's
pulled
still
back.
tame. It's still tame, but
they've tamed it down, and that's how it should be. It's still recognizable. It's very well designed. Everything they let into the game is pretty legitimate,
Yes.
So
It's
I don't know. We're just like right now like telling things everyone listening to this cast already knows, which is Dota 2's the shit.
I know, and I want to say again, we're lucky, man. We have Dota 2 in our life. Like the generations before us didn't have Dota 2. Can you believe that?
Sure, yeah, must have been terrible.
I don't know what they
Terrible
did
times,
in their free time.
They
You know what I mean?
swam in
Read
creeks
books.
and shit.
Yeah, built cabins. I don't know. Like,
Cool man
They
stuff
didn't-
that none of
You
us can
really
do.
need to take that history class. Really.
I did drop it the first couple of weeks. Bad professor though. Anyway,
Oh, sure.
let's guess a hard counter.
I agree. So I like I liked the Ricky last time just because I won. That felt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For what was that? The first? Oh yeah, that was the first time you won.
That was the
okay.
second time I won, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
the first
technically.
legitimate time you won. Sorry. I
a
forgot.
W is
I
a
forgot.
W. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so who are we gonna guess?
Just because of the game that we had earlier, I'm going with Juggernaut.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Wazoo, you want to start it?
Yeah, Spirit Breaker.
Okay, why?
Because he can be stunned when he's in his twisty twirly mode.
By Spirit Breaker's charge?
No, he can't. I don't think so.
I don't think Juggernaut.
He's magic
can be-
What I'm
immune.
talking
Yeah,
about
bro.
is his passive bash. So ideally, he'll be running towards that jug, and if he's locked on, he's locked on, right? Even if he spins, maybe it breaks him out. Maybe I'm wrong, but if he gets close and that Juggernaut uses the whirlwind to escape, he can still bash him.
Well, this is the
With his
perfect
passive.
time to plug this, actually. That's funny that you did that. This worked out perfectly. At Dota 2 Hex it's a Dota 2 lab that does testing like that. So maybe they will test.
Yeah, the Dota 2 Mythbusters.
Yeah, they're the Dota 2 Mythbusters
So
that
cool.
maybe they have already tested if Spirit Breaker runs into a spinning Juggernaut, if it knocks him out of that
I
immunity.
don't think you'll be able to select him as Spirit Breaker when he's in that mode, but I think if you get it locked onto him and then he uses it, it might still stay on him. I wouldn't be surprised if it broke as well, though. Mm-hmm. If he just stopped running.
And that Dota 2 lab, they're awesome. I was just perusing the Twitter, found them today. Really cool. They test things. They just test. They tested, for instance, if Kunkka with his, what's it called? His ability? Torrent. If he could stack camps with his Torrent, which indeed he can, I don't know, maybe, unless it's been patched since I saw this video.
Okay. we were talking about this a little bit in the vision discussion about how there's different layers on the map. Technically, what that's doing is it's pushing those up an additional layer with this torrent. So they're above that territory, existing above it. So there's nothing in that space below. So it fills the space below, and then they drop down.
And it's really cool, and I bet it takes a lot of skill to do.
Well,
but I'm gonna guess my hard counter
just
to
like anything in Dota, it feels like
to Juggernaut.
Okay.
It's got to be somebody with a lot of silence, right? I honestly think Doom kicked his ass. I was playing Doom when I saw little Juggy walk up on me. I just would throw on my Scorched Earth, which is a damage over time thing. It's kind of like Radiance. It does less damage, and
except it heals you as well.
It does heal.
Radiance does not heal.
It regens, and then Doom,
right.
and then you can Doom Juggernaut so he can't do his immortal spin, and also he can take physical damage when he's doing
it's
that.
Not
immoral. It's magic.
It's
resistant.
immoral a little bit, but it's not immortal. Like everyone says that it's magic resistant.
Magic resistance, which
not
Doom
resistant.
is all physical
it's
damage.
completely magic immune in that mode. But he can still be physically attacked. He can still be bashed too.
Exactly.
But what's interesting is when you do bash him, like when I was playing Void that game when he was spinning, you bash him and he's actually bashed, so he can't move, but he's still spinning. And those blades still do damage. It doesn't knock him out of the animation or anything. Like once that's cast, it's cast.
Huh.
So like,
what about you, Cyphus?
Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna go. I know we always resort to the stun, but I'm going with Earthshaker just because he permits that impassable terrain. You know,
okay,
interesting.
I could cut a swirling Juggernaut off.
Right.
So you could
put him on the other side.
You could protect yourself from him coming at you.
I could protect the team. I could protect anyone. I could at least make him waste that.
Supposing your Fisher was the way you wanted it to be.
Sure.
Okay.
Supposing quite
well, let's plug it in. Let's see. Once again, we're using DotaEdge.com. Really cool website. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Play around. Plug in some heroes.
It's a user-based aggregate. Everyone plugs in or more or less votes upon what they think a good counter is. We use it because there's a lot of
validity
information out there,
and it's valid.
Honestly, a lot of information on who counters what and what is what.
And again, definitely at this level.
Sure, it is catering about it toward our MMR.
So wow, Doom is the only one that's on the good counter list.
That makes sense though.
Suckers.
And I think that came out a lot more in the late game. How hard you were countering that joke.
Sure. What 1 through 5? What does Doom do?
He's a 3.5. Wow. Earthshaker is an avoid pick.
Why? What is he a negative to? So how it works is there's a positive 5 and a negative 5. The more negative you are, the more the opponent counters you. The more positive you are, the more you counter the opponent. And that's how Dota Edge works. It's a really cool differential. I respect the math that went into this. I respect the hard work that they've done, whoever they are.
Spirit Breaker's considered an okay counter.
What did Spirit Breaker get on a 1 to 5?
Spirit Breaker got a 2.86.
Okay, so according to Dota Edge, I am the winner once again. Sure. I would like my gold star trophy, whatever you guys are going to get me.
I'll give you.
I'll take a picture of it and tweet it, maybe.
We'll get you a sticker. Book.
Maybe a cake, a boot cake, a boot cake. Hey,
yeah,
I could eat those boots.
Maybe for your birthday.
I'm surprised Spirit Breaker. Let us be clear here that using Dota Edge, and I'm not saying this just because I lost. Using Dota Edge, we're not saying this is the end all be all counter. Like, don't always pick this because Juggernaut.
Roland's Doombringer might not counter that Juggernaut as hard as Wazoo's Spirit Breaker.
I think he builds script bots that go and vote that aggregate up on whatever he picks.
Oh yeah, he cheats ahead of time.
He's got to cheat somehow.
Sure. That's why I had to cheat to beat him last time.
I have to get the Dota Edge, don't I?
Yeah.
Put on your sunglasses.
All right, I think we got to call it.
Yes, we do.
Time of death, whatever time it is right now.
Anything? Oh, we said where you could get at Jordan Hansen.
Yeah, let's give his Twitter again.
Yeah,
and let's give
Hansen, ours. He's on Steam as Rasputin. You can find him at AmateurDota2League.com. You can also follow him on Twitter at ADOTA2L, at Dota2L, and send them a tweet and sign up for Season 5. And go watch Season 4. It's been entertaining. It was worth the 99 cents for the ticket.
I'm going to catch some tonight. And it's at a Dota2L.
We're looking for a 2-stack to join us in conquering the ranks of advanced.
Maybe we can get that guy that's 4,200 out of me.
And he can carry us.
And he can carry us. And I'll totally hard support with you. We can be like double fives. and you can play Kunkka
Double
or something.
fives.
All right, guys.
And then I'll play a 5, and it'll be triple fives.
Find us on Twitter at .p DOTP _show. .p_show. Email us at defenseofthepatients@gmail.com. Our website is defenseofthepatients.com. And nothing else really matters. Oh, hey, but except for maybe iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes matters. So apparently you need a certain amount of ratings before you get...
And iTunes has to review your review before they'll post it.
Okay, yeah, they're
so
really strict.
We got to collect enough reviews.
We just want a
and wait for
rating
them
up,
to do it.
honestly. So
Yeah.
we want to get the name out there. We want to get the rating out there so people, when they glance by it, will say, "Hey, maybe this is for me. Maybe I'll check it out."
Yeah, we'll
And
build
that
the
helps us
community.
do that.
So if you listen, if you wouldn't mind going to iTunes and give us a rating, give us an honest rating. Honestly, honesty
give
is
us
the
a
best
funny
way.
one.
Just go there and
Yeah,
type.
funny ones
Give
would
us a
be nice.
5-star review, but just type "Roland Boots, Roland Boots, Roland Boots, Roland Boots, Roland Boots," and I'll send you some boots. Real
Yeah,
life.
we really do need to
Actual
send out
boots.
some...
no, not actual boots.
Well, guys, it's been real. It's
And
been real
guys, it's
fun.
It's been fun.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We're thank you.
We are Defense of the Patients.
We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Big spender.